This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you and welcome to spring in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Spring has sprung. I'm Bill Bryant. It is Monday, March 21st and now 6:30. 2 children and 2 adults are dead after investigators say their house was intentionally set on fire. Coming up, we've learned that one of the victims grew up here in central Kentucky. Today, a bill that would change line-of-duty death benefits for firefighters could take another step toward becoming law here in Kentucky. And for the first time in more than a decade, Lexington is a home to a boys' Sweet 16 basketball champion.
And the good news outside, it is dry. And the bad news is it's still a little bit chilly. We're in the 30s, some 20s out and about, especially south of I-64. 50 degrees by the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. And then we hit the 60s the next few days. When does the rain arrive? I'll have that in your forecast coming up.
And here's the latest news from WKYT. We're learning some new details this morning about an arson that killed 4 people in Louisville. The victims are 2 adults and 2 children. And one of the victims grew up in central Kentucky. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with some new details coming in. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. Several viewers are telling us this morning that the woman who was found dead in the house grew up in Nicholasville. The Reverend at her church says the bodies of her husband and their 2 children were also found in the home. The coroner has not released their names yet. Investigators say the fire was clearly arson because they found several fires on several floors. Firefighters found the 4 bodies after they started putting out the smoke and the flames that were tearing through the home in southeast Louisville yesterday afternoon. Police do not know whether the 4 people were killed before the fire started or whether they died in the fire. Neighbors are struggling to understand why this happened.
Just the thought that, yesterday they were a normal family, and then today for this to happen, I mean, our hearts go out to, and our prayers go out to the mother and the rest of their family.
An extended family member says their grieving family does not think the 4 people were killed by the fire. While investigators are still searching for a motive, the family says the wife had just filed for divorce. Investigators say they still do not know why the fire was started intentionally or who started it. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, a lot more to learn, obviously, and we'll stay on top of that story. Thank you, Mark. Today, the State House is expected to vote on a bill that would make cancer a line-of-duty death for Kentucky firefighters. The bill also calls for the state to give $80,000 to families of firefighters who die from cancer. Firefighters say they're at a higher risk of getting cancer because of what they're exposed to on the job. The bill has already passed the state Senate. If it passes the House today, it will go to Governor Bevin for his signature. Friends and family of a young woman who fell to her death over the weekend are trying to keep her memory alive this morning. 22-year-old Katie Stewart was a student at Transylvania University, and she also worked at Crank and Boom, a local ice cream shop here in Lexington. Officials say Stewart was hiking at Raven Run Nature Sanctuary on Saturday when she fell off of a cliff. Co-workers have started a GoFundMe account that has already raised nearly $6,000 for her family. It is a big issue. A huge price tag is involved as well. The Fayette County School Board must decide whether to spend more than $500,000 to fix high levels of radon at 9 Lexington schools. WKYT's Mike Byer is live this morning to explain what's happening with that today. Mike?
Good morning, Bill. Many concerned parents and community members are expected to be on hand when the Fayette County School Board holds a meeting tonight at 6:30 to vote on allocating money to fix the radon problem. The radon problem was discovered in February at 9 Fayette County schools. They are Bryan Station High School, Booker T. Washington Intermediate Academy, Harrison Elementary, Leestown Middle School, Lexington Traditional Magnet Schools, Mary Todd Elementary, Russell Cave Elementary, Scapa, and Sandersville Elementary. Radon is an invisible, odorless radioactive gas that comes from the natural decay of uranium that is found in soils. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency lists it as the 2nd leading cause of lung cancer. Now, schools in Kentucky are not mandated to test radon levels, but after finding a higher radon level a year and a half ago at Locust Trace, Fayette County Public Schools decided to test the radon levels at every school and also set their standard the same as the EPA's residential exposure level, which is a 4. All 9 schools have tested at a 4 or higher. Now the school board needs to sign off on $570,000 to fix the radon levels. The meeting will be held right here at the Fayette County Public Schools headquarters. It's set for 6:30, and it's expected that many people will be on hand for this meeting. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, understandably, parents with a lot of questions about that situation. 6:35 on WKYT this morning. State police are investigating a deadly officer-involved shooting in western Kentucky. Troopers say they were chasing an ATV in Hopkins County when it flipped and then the driver started shooting at a trooper. The trooper shot back, killing 23-year-old Dylan Whitaker of White Plains. His autopsy is set for today. The trooper involved has not been identified. Police in Indiana say a woman trying to grab a spilled drink sideswiped a school bus, causing it to flip. The Griffith High School basketball team was on the bus on their way to a state semifinal game. 21 students and 6 adults were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. At a prayer service, some of the players said they were grateful for the community's support.
Seeing all these people here supporting us, it really makes us happy. Makes us get back on our feet and give us the adrenaline to get started over again and bring back a state ring.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association rescheduled the state semifinal game for Wednesday. Before they can go after that state ring, the superintendent says the students have to be cleared medically. Well, congratulations to Dunbar's boys basketball team here in Kentucky. For the first time in the school's history, the Bulldogs are state champions this morning. Dunbar knocked off Louisville's Doss High School team 62-52 in the boys' Sweet 16. Tavion Hollingsworth scored 20 points. He was named the tournament's MVP after scoring 86 points in 4 games. This is the first time a Lexington school has won the title since Lexington Catholic did it back in 2002.
It's overwhelming. It's just great and emotional. I loved every bit of it.
I'm always proud to be a Bulldog, especially today. Yeah, this is I feel so silly even crying about it right now, but it's been 20 years since we started the program back, and to be part of those first few teams and to get so close. And we were down there. I mean, we had to take this picture that Dawson's having to take right now. That's no fun.
Cameron let the tears flow. That's all right. Certainly a big, big day for Dunbar. More than 10,000 people packed Rupp Arena to watch Sunday's title game. Very exciting. And the UK women's basketball team is still rolling in the NCAA tournament. Kentucky will face Oklahoma today at Memorial Coliseum. Tip-off for that set for 6:30. It'll be on ESPN2. And you can keep up with the Cats on WKYT.com or by downloading the WKYT News app for scores and highlights and get those right on your phone. Well, a lot of people are enjoying these first days of spring. Seasonal allergies are starting to kick in. You see all those blooms out there. In fact, more than 60 million Americans suffer from allergic rhinitis. You can think of those burning, itchy eyes and noses that won't stop running. That's the kind of thing that many people are experiencing. The website pollen.com tracks pollen counts nationwide. The site's national allergy map shows the southern half of the U.S. is getting whacked with pollen right now. And you can see it certainly with those Bradford pears and all those things in bloom here in the Commonwealth right now. 6:38 is our time, and let's check to see how traffic is moving along this morning. Here's Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Bill. Well, there are no wrecks, and we just checked that stalled car on the exit ramp from the inner loop of the circle to Tate's Creek. It's over to the right, so the ramp's still wide open. Let's get a look outside, and we'll show you Lexington traffic flow in real time as you get ready to head out the door. We can see traffic moving down Nicholasville Road, past Brannon Crossing, and toward the mall. No trouble there. Zoom in a little bit closer, and downtown, a little red spot there, inbound Richmond Road. That's the left turn lane of the inner loop of the circle. Drive times for the moment, things are pretty calm. No major problems, like we said, coming in from Nicholasville's 12 minutes, Georgetown's 15, Paris 19 minutes, and Richmond 30 minutes. Later on the interstate, there'll be pothole repairs. That'll start after 9 o'clock this morning. Now back to you in the studio.
Right, and everybody take their sunglasses along this morning. It sounds like we're going to have some of that throughout the day as well. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. Hey, good morning to you again. Great to have you with us here on this Monday on WKYT this morning with a lot more on the way. Let freedom ring or hatch. 2 bald eagles in our nation's capital are seen emerging from their shells live.
We have that front pass on through, and now that the front's through, there is nothing going on back behind that. What does that mean for our temperatures, up or down? I'll have that in your forecast coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Mostly clear skies out and about. Absolutely nothing falling out of the sky. So we are dry this morning, but when you have mostly clear skies and already cooler air settling on in, you know it's going to be a chilly start to the day. Somerset and Pulaski County, Wayne County, go off into, say, Casey County, and then work your way back towards, say, Columbia. And Adair County, we're holding on to the 20s. London Corbin coming in at 29 degrees. So freezing morning, literally. Then we head through your day. We're at 50 degrees later on this afternoon. And to put that in perspective, yesterday and the day before, Saturday and Sunday, were there in the low to mid 40s. So yeah, add about 5 degrees to that, and we'll be settling right there around 50 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, good looking day in store. Then we talk about tomorrow. Here's 7 a.m. and we're back in the 30s, but not as cold as most locations this morning. And Tuesday afternoon, you can see low to mid 60s. It's a good day in store. This is one of your better days in the forecast there on Tuesday, but not the best. Let's check out the best. That's going to be on Wednesday. That's out ahead of our next system. And when the systems get closer, it pulls in that warmer air. And you can see mid to upper 60s tomorrow expected, maybe even a couple of 70-degree readings down south. All in all, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be your best day because Thursday, here comes some rain in the forecast. Tammy Souter sent this one in. No filter needed there from Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Really, really neat shot there. And here's something that a lot of us are seeing outside. The pear trees really blooming in full force there, and also the redbud tree down toward the southeastern portion of your screen, I guess you could say. That's Pat Howard. Really neat shot there by them. We appreciate it very much. It's on my Facebook page, Micah Harris, WKYT. Check it out, like it, send me some pictures, and I'll show them off for you. 7-day forecast. Next few days, like I was saying, Tuesday and Wednesday is your better days in the forecast. Thursday is when the rain moves in, that's showers and thunderstorms. It doesn't look like a very potent system, meaning I don't expect any severe weather out of it right now. We'll see as it gets a little bit closer because we're still 4 days out. But Thursday will be your best chance of rain in the forecast. Then your next chance is on Sunday. So only 2 days in the forecast that you actually have temperatures, or rain rather. Other than that, next 5 days.
Yeah, good, because I was mostly looking for the chances of sunshine.
Yeah, right.
It works out.
Focused on that. That's right.
Looks good, you know. Yep. Now we're in spring, right?
Finally moving there.
Yeah, 6:45 now. And then there were two, both baby bald eagles have now hatched from their shells at the U.S. National Arboretum in Washington. Their debuts were captured live on the D.C. Eagle Cam. Bald eagle mom and dad, also known, by the way, as the president and the first lady, nested in a tulip poplar tree at the Arboretum back in 2014. The American Eagle Foundation said it was the first time in almost 70 years that a bald eagle nested in that location. A lot of people really fascinated by that little eaglet hatching out there. Of course, the eagle being the symbol of our nation. It's good to have you along here on WKYT this morning, and we're inside a 7:15 now, 6:46. CBS This Morning is coming up at the top of the hour.
Coming up, President Obama's trip to Cuba. We're in Havana with the historic step in diplomacy and the human rights issues still remaining. Plus how new electronic transmissions may be putting drivers at risk. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Now 6:49 here on WKYT This Morning as they get ready at the CBS Broadcast Center to bring you America's fastest growing network morning newscast. CBS This Morning is coming up at the top of the hour. Here at WKYT, firefighters say they found the bodies of a husband and wife and their 2 young children after an arson in Louisville. This morning we've learned from several viewers that the woman grew up in Nicholasville. Police do not know whether the 4 people who were killed died before the fire started or whether they died in the flames. An ongoing investigation as they're looking right now to try to find who is responsible. Friends are remembering a Transylvania student who fell to her death at Lexington's Raven Run. 22-year-old Katie Stewart worked at Crank and Boom, a local ice cream shop. The store's owner says Stewart was full of ideas and potential, was fun to be around. They held a fundraiser with all of the proceeds going to her family, and a GoFundMe page for Stewart has raised nearly $6,000. Today, the Fayette County School Board will decide whether to spend more than $500,000 to fix high levels of radon in 9 Lexington schools. The board will make that decision tonight during a meeting at 6:30 that is open to the public, and they anticipate a crowd. And President Obama will meet with Cuban leader Raul Castro today as he continues his historic visit to the island nation. The president touched down in Havana yesterday along with the First Lady and their 2 daughters. President Obama is the first U.S. president to visit Cuba in 88 years. He will also catch an exhibition baseball game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cuban national team. Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump meets with party leaders in Washington today before delivering remarks at a pro-Israel conference. The events come ahead of crucial nominating contests for both Republicans and Democrats tomorrow. Don Champion has the latest on Campaign 2016.
Stand by me. Mr. Trump goes to Washington. GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump will be in the nation's capital today, rallying party leaders behind him.
If we bring our party together, we will win. We will win by numbers that you've never seen before.
Trump is set to meet with nearly 24 Republicans. He's also scheduled to deliver a critical speech to AIPAC, America's leading pro-Israel group, denouncing what they call Trump's hate speech. A group of rabbis plan to walk out of the speech.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Trump is still poised to beat rivals Ted Cruz and John Kasich in the winner-take-all state of Arizona tomorrow. Even still, the possibility of a contested convention hangs over his head.
You have to have a majority of the delegates in order to be the nominee. There's nothing magical about the number.
Favored to win in Utah tomorrow, Cruz contends he can stop Trump in the delegate count.
We have a straightforward path to get to 1,237 delegates and secure the Republican nomination before the convention.
On the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders is counting on wins out west to slow Hillary Clinton's momentum.
When the voter turnout is high, we win. When the voter turnout is low, we lose.
Clinton leads Sanders by close to 800 delegates. Don Champion, CBS News.
And after taking off for the weekend, Clinton will return to the campaign trail today with an event in Arizona. She is also scheduled to address the organization AIPAC along with Ted Cruz and John Kasich. Bernie Sanders is the only presidential candidate who will not be speaking at that conference. Here's some news that many Twitter users will appreciate. It looks like Twitter will be keeping it brief. The social media giant says it is sticking to its 140-character limit. Twitter's chief executive and co-founder says the constraint allows for off-the-movement brevity. The news comes after reports emerged recently that Twitter would allow for longer tweets. Many users spoke out against the possible change. It was all considered, and apparently the decision is made. Apple's spring press conference is today. It's expected to go small this year. The headliner expected to be a smaller version of the iPhone, followed by a smaller version of the iPad Pro. The event will take place at a modest venue that holds fewer reporters and guests than other popular Apple event locations. Starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So apparently customers will now have their choice of whether to go large or small on their phones. On WKYT.com, we are working to get some new information in and nail down these possible bluegrass connections to those killed in a suspicious fire in Louisville. Lots of questions surrounding that fire. Also, how many are remembering a transy student in Lexington who also worked at a local ice cream shop? Katie Stewart died after falling while hiking at Raven Run Sanctuary on Saturday. Also trending this morning, gasoline prices are rising. They've jumped 17 cents over the last 2 weeks and are now back above the $2 mark on average. We take a look at what's behind the jump and what to expect in those months leading up to the summer driving season on WKYT.com. And if you're looking for some thrills as you plan a summer getaway, some new roller coasters are about ready to go in this part of the country. Cedar Point will have its coaster ready by May. We have that story online, and they're progressing on a new coaster down at Dollywood as well. It's going to be a day of celebration at Dunbar Dunbar High School, who won the boys' Sweet 16 title at the state basketball tournament. They defeated Doss 61-52 in the championship game before a big crowd at Rupp Arena, and the crowd roars. Lots of excitement at Dunbar for today when they get back to school. Kentucky.com is looking back at the season's ending for the UK Wildcat men and the continuing hopes for the women. Also on Kentucky.com this morning, details about a lawsuit against Starbucks claiming the coffee chain routinely underfills its lattes. Starbucks says the suit is completely without merit. And CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye opener. And of course, we'll have local updates. There they are, getting just about ready to go, just a few minutes away here on WKYT. Join us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter. And for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Looking pretty good this morning. Not seeing much on the roadways. Things are just fine. Current temperatures, we're sitting there in the 20s and 30s. So as you're walking out the door, the one thing you need to be worried about is trying to stay warm. That's about it. We're 28 degrees now in Somerset, 25 taking a cake in Monticello, and 29 coming in Lexington. By the afternoon, 50 degrees. Today is a cool start to the first full week of spring, but I'm telling you this, once we hit tomorrow off into Wednesday and even into Thursday, we're going to see the 60s move back into the forecast.
I think we're going to enjoy this spring.
Yeah, the next few days look good.
Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you for being with WKYT.